So today is beer day. So happy beer day. Hello and welcome to another tasting of Icelandic beer. My name is Avi and I am a singer-songwriter, a tour guide. Sometimes I'm a comedian, I guess. I'm a writer, I'm an actor, I'm a director, I do everything. And sometimes I do things on the internet, such as drink beer. And I have this thing called beertour.is, which is a little tourist thing that I do for visitors in Iceland. And I give you beer if you're here, so look me up. But today is a very special day. And this usually I shoot these in advance and then I post them later, but now I'm shooting this, I'm hoping to get it up within an hour or so, because today is March the 1st, which is beer day in Iceland. And so we had a prohibition of beer in Iceland for a very long time. So we had prohibition of everything in 1915. In 1922, they started selling wine again because of trade agreements with Spain. And then in 1935, everything was sold except beer. And you couldn't buy beer in Iceland until 1989. And they started selling beer in 1989 on March the 1st, and we now celebrate Beer Day on March the 1st. So today is Beer Day. So happy Beer Day. Now, Beer Day means that everybody has a beer, of course, and I'm going to, and of course now Easter is coming up, and we have Easter beers in the stores. As I may have mentioned previously on one of these videos, I'm not sure, we have a lot of seasonals here because we have a very weird system of distribution. All alcohol is sold in state-run liquor stores, and the distribution system is pretty weird. So for a new brewery, seasonals, they get distributed into every liquor store, but a new beer that's not a seasonal only gets distributed to a handful until it has more sales, and it's a complicated system. So a seasonal is vital for any brewery, especially the smaller ones, because they don't have big marketing budgets, and also it's illegal to advertise alcohol. So Easter, Christmas, the Þorri festival, which I've mentioned here before, and I actually have some upcoming videos about that as well, which have already been recorded. And summer beers, I think those count as seasonals as well. They're very popular, and you get a lot of them. So now we have the Easter beers, and the one that I'm going to taste today is called Sabbat. It's from a brewery that's actually a brew pub, but they're now selling their beers in cans in the liquor stores. And this is I love it when breweries do this. They don't have printed cans. It's just a standard aluminum can. It's a blank aluminum can, and they have a printed paper label that's glued to the outside like you would on a bottle. And so this is a red ale or red IPA, I guess, and this is as I don't know if I've mentioned this. I don't think I have, but I always think it's very interesting what makes a seasonal beer appropriate for the season. And I don't know what makes this beer Eastery. I would associate Easter with chocolate and things, which I don't think, I don't know. But this is, so it's a red ale or a red IPA. It's probably a hoppy. It just says Sabbat red ale. And Sabbat is a religious reference, I assume. I guess Sabbath, which I don't know. And this is probably just my ignorance about Christianity. I'm not very religious. I don't really know. If you know what the name might mean, if it's something else than Sabbath, and I don't know what the link there is to Easter, except that it's a term from religion. Yeah, I don't know what the religious link there is, but apart from that, or the Easter link rather. But so anyway, this is I have actually only once tasted a beer from this place before, which was when I went to their bar, which I haven't been to often enough, frankly. So I'm gonna open this, and we'll see what it's like. So there we go, nice pour, and as you can see, that's my Facebook behind there. But this is cloudy. It's red, and it's got a pretty nice head on it, actually. But yeah, very hazy. It looks on the camera. I'm recording this on my phone because, you know, I'm poor. I spend all my money on beer. But the way it looks on my screen there, it looks darker. I don't know what it's going to look like once it's up on YouTube. It looks darker than it actually is. It's sort of light. It's almost orange. Just, yeah, or you know, red, orange. It's smells less hoppy than I expected, because they talk about the hops here. No, I'm sorry. No. It's a malty. It's a red ale. I read this wrong. So it's a red ale. It's a malty red ale. That makes more sense. It's got a roasty character on the nose. Licorice. Yeah, it's definitely roasty. It's a little bready. Yeah, definitely very malty. Nicely malty. It's the mouthfeel is nice. It's very sort of middle of the road. It's not very dry. It's not sweet. It's got substance. The nose, it's not overly aromatic. Again, I don't know, because I just saw the word IPA and pale ale and, you know, hops here on the can. I just somehow assumed that it would be a hoppy beer. I'm sorry about that. The phone rang, and I had to, and it was a poll. It was stupid. So anyway, as I was saying, when I read the word hops here, I somehow expected hoppiness, but it was just saying that it doesn't have a lot of hops. I should have read the label beforehand. This is, again, I really don't plan these very much. And, well, that backfired on me now. So, it's caramelly, biscuity, you know, very nice malt character. I like red ales. I'm a fan of the style. This is very much a, you know, a British version of the style. It's certainly not an American red ale. And as I was saying before, you know, what makes a style or a beer seasonally appropriate? And I think this is very Eastery. This is very good. This would go very well. I mean, on Easter, traditionally you eat lamb, at least here, and I'm assuming that's a tradition in many places. And this would go excellent with lamb. This would be great with the Easter lamb. You know, Very, very nice. It's 6% ABV. And as I said, it is brewed by Bryggjan. Brugghús, you can see the logo there. And it's nice. It's not trying to be, it's not too bold, it's not too big or extreme. Which, for a little bit, that was the tendency for a lot of breweries here, a lot of the smaller ones, and I think this is probably true everywhere. You know, a small brewery, they'll try to make their mark by creating something outrageous, and you know, who can make the hoppiest beer, who can make the biggest beer, who can put the weirdest ingredients in there. I think that's subsiding a little bit. I think there's a bigger focus now on, you know, just brewing a quality beer, because really that's what people want. And yeah, no, this is very tasty. There's even a little bit of dried fruit in there, maybe. I enjoy this beer, I really do. And I do enjoy the fact that it comes in a can. I really like canned beers. I remember when I was first starting to appreciate beer, for, you know, something more than just getting drunk, basically. I remember that cans were frowned upon. I don't know. Again, this might just be, maybe it was just me, but, you know, it felt sort of, you know, if it's a canned beer, then it's probably no good. Which is probably just because craft breweries didn't really can beers at that time. You know, if you got a beer in a can, it was usually a macro lager. And, you know, once you start to appreciate the more flavorful beers, you tend to veer away from the macro stuff. And so, yeah, so I tended to say, if it's a can, then it's no good. But now, oh, if it's in a can, that's I'm on board, man. Because, you know, it's better preserved, doesn't get oxidized, no light gets in there. It's much more likely to get a great can of beer than you are to get a great bottle of beer, if you think about it. But this is nice. It's, you know, it is 6%. It is a little bit maybe on the heavy side, even though, you know, it's sort of, it has balance. But, you know, it is very malty. And I don't think I would drink more than one of these in a night. But my standard is always, would I buy this again? And yeah, I think I would buy this again. Probably no more than one can, but, you know, I'd do it. Also, I like the label, and their labels are always the same. They're, you know, very stylish, very simple. This is, you know, why complicate it? It's instantly recognizable, very tasteful. I like it. So, that's this beer. I'm a fan. Cheers. Skál, as we say in Iceland. And again, if you enjoy this, you know, the like and subscribe thing, whatever you do. But also, if you're in Iceland ever, beertour.is is my beer for tourists thing. And if you go to freewalkingtour.is, I have a free walking tour of Reykjavik with some friends of mine. You can do that. There will be links in the blah 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 down below. Please look us up, and you know, we'll have a walk at a beer. So until next time, there you go.